I am frustratingly still waiting for delivery of my very own Meta Quest 3 device. But I have been keeping an eye on how early adopters who already had theirs delivered are liking their Quest 3s, noting down any common issues I see them complain about, what parts of the experience are receiving common praise, and how people are experimenting with the new depth mapped mixed reality mode. People are being really boring with this exciting new piece of tech. Like just so dull. How are entities this boring even moving around in the world as if they were real people? It's ridiculous. Hello again, I am Blunty, and holy crap, the YouTube robot mind has been kicking my darkest place over and over again in the last couple of weeks. And I do not even know why. It's not like I've done anything controversial or troublesome or whatnot, so I'd really extra appreciate any effort for you to make to just thumb this video up. Maybe just pop a comment also. Please help me. Maybe tell me the most boring thing you'd be doing with a Meta Quest 3. Because, oh man, when I say people are doing boring things, they are doing boring things. I mean, look at this guy. He's got the newest, fanciest, cleverest VR/mixed reality technology on his face, and what is he doing? He's watching a YouTube video while crushing and peeling some garlic. Actually, you know what? Having a screen that is entirely out of the way while cooking does seem rather handy, especially if your kitchen is as tiny as mine. You're not taking any space by putting down your tablet or your phone or whatnot. That's, actually a good idea. Never mind. I withdraw my accusation of him being boring. It's actually quite practical. But how about this person? What do they do with the latest in HMD technology? They park a big toy car in their driveway. Name one thing less exciting to do with a car than park it in your driveway. I dare you. Actually, come to think of it, the vast potential of using this kind of augmented reality to work out stuff around the house would be kind of cool. Useful, even. Practical, really. Anything from planning out an entire renovation to simply seeing what your bedroom might look like if you rearranged your furniture and where the bed was and stuff, without having to drag your bed across the room and do your back in. I withdraw my objection. Not boring. What about this one though? This one, we're back at the kitchen sink. What is with people using the Quest 3 in the kitchen? I mean, come on, watch with tense excitement as they rinse out a drinking glass and carry a paused YouTube video around their office for a little bit. A task which is heretofore impossible with any other technologies like your phone, for example. Actually, with a small modification of pinning the video to your own field of view so it follows you around instead of pinning it to a relative location in the world, so you don't have to pinch it and carry it with you and move it from place to places. Kind of exactly the kind of thing I was asking for in my recent review of the XR glasses, so never mind. Objection withdrawn. Accusation withdrawn of being boring. That's the thing I wanted for myself. Okay, look at this huge nerd though. Unprecedented mixed reality capabilities on his face, on his head. And what is he doing? He's just sprinting around the park like a 5-year-old who just discovered cocaine for the first time. Actually, this is a clip from a whole ass 13-minute long YouTube video from someone called Awakened Toast I've just discovered. He's playing some kind of mixed reality tech demo of a Sword Art Online inspired game. No idea what it actually is or where to get it. He didn't link to it, he didn't call it by name, he didn't mention where it came from, and I'll be damned if I can find it by Googling, so kind of frustrating that I can't give this a go as well. Why is he hoarding it? But while the Quest 3 isn't really supposed to be used outdoors, this is a tantalizing peek at what could be the future of things like live-action role-playing, or LARPing, or indeed devices like the Augma device from the Sword Art Online movie, Ordinal Scale, which super duper cool in concept. Once they get small and convenient enough not to make you look like a massive dork running around with a VR thing strapped to your face. I do though have to deduct content creator points because Toasty was so hopelessly excited and distracted he forgot to focus his camera. The party foul of content creation. You owe me a Coke toast. Coke toast? Coke toast. Coke flavored toast. Toast flavored Coke. That's my idea, Coca-Cola Company. You can buy it from me for $1 million. All All right, look at this boring. I've got one this time. This is a truly, truly boring dork. Hotmute toy, and what do? They use it to make fake monitors in front of their real monitors so they can do work. That's boring, surely. Actually expanding my own workspace from 2 physical monitors by adding 1 or 2 other mixed reality displays floating around them, surrounding them, does seem like a handy thing. The only real drawback is looking at the 2 4K screens I've got on my desk through cameras and VR screens doesn't seem like I'll be getting the entire resolution of those fancy screens that I've got to do my work from, so not really getting the benefit there. But, so I'm not sure how useful it would be for me and my most common workflows. But it is yet another tantalizing peek at the future of this kind of tech, at least. Okay, another boring... have I gone too far with the gimmick at this point? Another boring person, for real this time! Someone who already owns a tablet device. And they can watch videos while they cook already. Look at that, they've got a quite nice tablet. And what do? They restrict their own vision while working with knives and salmonella-infested raw chicken just to have an imaginary screen floating around instead of just putting their tablet down somewhere on their kitchen. Actually, you know what? I've cooked before with a cooking show or a recipe up on a tablet screen propped up, against the back of the sink or whatever, and having to keep washing and then drying my hands every single time I needed to pause or restart or rewind or whatever with the video, or just scroll the recipe to the next page, the next steps. It was a bit of a pain in the ass, so having an imaginary screen you never actually have to touch with your salmonella fingers is maybe kind of a useful idea after all. This one, okay. In all fairness, my gimmick here just falls apart. I can't even pretend this one is boring because there's nothing boring about artistic expression. But look at this. Painting with virtual materials, painting digitally inside the Quest 3 while simultaneously working from a live reference model they can see perfectly clearly through the pass-through cameras. Now that is interesting. And again, something you can, kind of already do if you've got an iPad with an Apple Pencil or something. Lots of people do spectacular art on that combination of tools, but it's the size of the thing. The size of that workspace is restrictive, and here you've got whatever size canvas you like. You can paint using big sweeping motions, that range of motion you've got to really sort of get in there and get expressive with the paint application. And some art styles are legitimately just way better, way easier to do this way than scribbling on a little 7 or 10 inch tablet with a tiny little swipe of a stylus and scrolling around on the picture to get sort of detail in. There's practicality here. And finally, and now this one, if you're one of those people who gets weirdly mad at even the sight of a furry, this example might trigger you a bit, but it's the first example of this that I found while I was scrolling through Twitter. There are other examples of, regular looking avatars and stuff, but these ones are furries, so just, I don't really get the whole furry thing myself. I've tried to understand them. I know for a fact a lot of them, though, are super kind and super generous people. I have nothing against furries. I will never mock them just for being furries, so I suggest you chill out about that too until you actually meet some furries that deserve your hate. But anyway, this clip does show the interesting concept of hanging out with your real-life friends, in avatar form at least, but, sat within your own physical space at home or whatever. And, they don't have to look like furries. They can be a regular sort of avatar like this, which is vaguely similar to what I look like in real life, except, my hair is a bit more grey in real life. But, I just wanted this particular avatar to look a bit younger. I do have another avatar with the grey hair. Not ashamed of it. I just wanted this one to look kind of younger. Just don't judge me. Those guys who look like furries, I can look like this if you just leave me alone. Anyway, it's a really interesting concept for me because, frankly, I don't like sharing my own personal home space. My space needs to be my space. I don't like having people in it. Whenever they have to get a plumber in to fix a tap, it makes me desperately anxious and uncomfortable. Friends are a little bit different, but it still kind of always makes me feel awkward. I'm sure it's an autism thing. My brain is just wired that way. My space needs to be my space, but would I feel the same way if my visitors were only here virtually and couldn't even really see my space on their end? They just see their own real space or a virtual environment if they want to do it that way, and all we'd see of each other is our avatars. Everyone would be comfortable in whatever space they're in. Everyone would feel comfortable in whatever appearance they're in. But we can still share the same physical space in an immersive way, not on a flat screen like on a video call or on a voice call, just a voice from the nether. But we can look at each other in the eyes in avatar form. We can virtually touch each other, hand each other things, watch the same virtual screen, play the same virtual games sort of physicalized in our virtual spaces or tabletop games or whatever, all without having to share the same physical, real-world meat space. So distance isn't even an issue anymore. MetaQuest 3 makes a lot of very ordinary, boring things like cooking or visiting your friends or figuring out where the bed should go in a room, and just makes quite interesting expansions on it, which, just in case you needed me to explain my stupid gimmick on this video of calling all these people boring and then having to recuse myself with a, well, actually, that's kind of my whole point here. All of this is very dull, ordinary, everyday crap that we all do, made more interesting, more convenient, more fun, more expanded than we're used to being able to do with the technologies we commonly have in our homes or pockets or whatever right now. Even existing VR headsets don't do this kind of stuff. I mean, some of which can do similar tricks, like the whole mixed reality thing is not a new idea, but none of them do it as well as it seems the Quest 3 does them, and certainly not on a device that has the branding power and ubiquity and sort of household namitude of Zuckerberg's Meta/Facebook crap behind it. I think the Quest 3 might legitimately just be the turning point in this market, in this VR, AR, MR kind of market that we've been waiting on, something that ordinary people are interested in genuinely, and it will retain them. You know, they won't get it once and use it a few times and go, oh, fun gimmick, and then put it in a drawer and forget about it, like happens with a lot of VR headsets over the past sort of 10 years or so. Normal people can look at what the Quest 3 can do, can look at this stuff and understand how it would be useful in their normal, boring little lives. And that's just not something any other VR headset has been able to do for normal, boring people to this point. So it's going to be fun to watch. Tell me what you think in the down below. What's the most boring thing you will do? Do you think you could sell this technology to, you know, your mum or your grandmum or Uncle Bob or whatever? You know, can you show them this and expect them to go, oh, I might actually use that in my kitchen, or I might use that in my garage, so I can watch a tutorial on how to fix the carburetor. I don't know car things. How to clean the car. I can watch a tutorial on how to clean the carburetor. Change the oil. There we go. I can watch a tutorial on how to change the oil while looking at my own car, and it all makes sense. As I can do it as I'm learning, and everything will be fine. You know, that kind of crap. You know, ordinary people doing ordinary, boring things. Might be a game changer. Let me know down below. Thank you very much for watching this entire video. Thank you as always to the patrons scrolling up above there, and a special thank you to everyone who did thumb, comment, subscribe, etc., share, because, oh my god, if the algorithm keeps kicking my butt like this, I'm in real big trouble, and I'm not doing that great already. So, gotta rescue this place. Yeesh. Woo.